अराउंड 6 महीने से मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ ऑलरेडी, और अभी जैसे जैसे अभी और वेट कर रहा हूँ कि कोई और नया मॉडल आएगा तो उसके लिए देखूंगा, और नहीं फिर जो नेक्सॉन में जो भी अच्छा लगेगा वो मॉडल ले लेंगे। अभी तो आज सिर्फ दोबारा से देखने आया हूँ, फिर आएंगे 10-5 दिन बाद, कुछ नया प्लान होगा, नहीं होगा तो इसी को बुक करके इसी को डन कर लेंगे। इसका वेट करेंगे, 6 महीने में मिलेगी, 8 महीने में मिलेगी, मैं वेट करूँगा इस गाड़ी का।
Subcompact sports utility vehicles are the new craze in India. Earlier, buying a car was a dream for many families. To add to it, buying an SUV was something restricted to big families or joint families. However, in recent times, things have changed with literally everyone wanting to own an SUV. Amidst this craze, Hyundai Venue, Kia Sonnet, Tata Nexon, Nissan Magnite and Maruti's Vitara Brezza are some of the top-selling subcompact SUVs in India. So to begin with, what is a subcompact SUV?
These subcompact SUVs, they are not actual SUVs, they are not all-wheel drive, they don't have four-wheel drive, they're not crude in that sense. So these cars are basically crossovers. This is the subcompact SUVs, they are called as crossovers because they are a cross between a hatchback and an SUV. So in terms of ride comfort, in terms of driving dynamics, they are car-like to drive, but in terms of practicality and comfort, because of their ground clearance, their ride quality, they are comfortable and they can be driven every day.
In a market previously dominated by hatchbacks, subcompact SUVs are growing in popularity in India. Catching up with this trend, car makers have also taken to launching more subcompact SUVs in India. The SUV segment's contribution, which was around 19% of the industry, has gone up to 40% in 2021 to 2022, with subcompact SUVs accounting for the lion's share of 22%. Industry experts feel that this is fueled by millennials preferring to buy high-end variants which come equipped with several tech-savvy features. Data shows that preference for feature-loaded cars has gone up from 17% in 2016 to 2017 to 24% in 2021 to 2022. So what has led to this SUV craze in India?
People have always admired the road presence of SUVs like Fortuner, Land Cruiser and Range Rovers. So this segment that was once served to only a handful of wealthy people has now become a lot more affordable. They are still compact and affordable, while they still offer a sizable percentage of practicality that is offered by the bigger SUVs compared to premium hatchbacks.
What is interesting is the fact that the waiting periods for some of the most popular models stretch to over a year. The waiting period for Mahindra XUV 700 is up to 21 months. Kia Carens is up to 20 months, Kia Sonnet 11 months, Hyundai Creta 9 months, Hyundai Venue 7 months, Maruti Ertiga 6 months, Mahindra Thar 6 months, Maruti Baleno 4 months, Tata Nexon 8 months and Toyota Fortuner 2 months. So what has led to such long waiting periods for these SUVs? Experts blame it on the global semiconductor shortage. And with all subcompact SUVs requiring more semiconductors, the time to produce such cars has gone up.
More the number of features, more the technology, you're going to consume more of semiconductors. An XUV 700 top-end model will consume 150 semiconductors. A basic XUV 700 will consume 20 semiconductors.
Despite this, car makers are still witnessing a steady flow of fresh orders. Here's a look at how some top-selling subcompact SUVs in India have performed recently. In August 2022, Brezza posted a year-on-year increment of 17.72%, followed by Tata Nexon with a year-on-year increase of 50.76% and a market share of 23.93%. Next came Hyundai Venue with a year-on-year growth of 34.18%, followed by Kia Sonnet with a year-on-year rise of 1.11% and a market share of 12.43%. Ranked 5th was the Mahindra XUV 300. Here's what experts have to say about this ever-growing demand despite delayed supply.
Sedans market across the world is shrinking. And not many manufacturers are coming with new models or new technologies in sedan. So there was a perception that the SUV market can be expanded further by having a segment in between, that is between the sedans and the SUVs, because this compact segment took off very well because even the customers didn't have many choices in the sedan. Even the purchasing power has changed and increased over the last 5-10 years in India. The loans are much better, easier to get, the interest costs are much lesser, the customer's down payment is much lesser.
Besides this, dealers also offer huge discounts on cars that are delivered after long periods of booking. For those wanting to keep in step with everything in trend, dealers also offer an upgrade to deliver the latest model instead of the model that customers initially booked. Despite this craze for subcompact SUVs, there are some cars from the same segment which have failed in India in stark contrast to their global performance. The first ever subcompact SUV launched in India was Premier Rio, and it was a failure. Mahindra Nuvo Sport and Quanto were the other subcompact SUVs that failed in India. In fact, it was the Ford EcoSport launched in 2013 that first drew India's attention towards subcompact SUVs. However, even that car is not produced anymore. This is because of a lot of reasons spanning from downsizing cars to cost cutting for the Indian market.
India is a very price sensitive market. So majority of the cars when they have launched the car in India, they have to price it very competitively. Otherwise, there's a high chance of failure. So what most manufacturers do is they select different engines. Like in fact, for example, you have Kia Seltos. In the US, they have a 2-liter engine for that. Here in India, they have a downsized like 1.5-liter engine, and then they compromise on the steel or something. So that if you had a look at the safety ratings, the Seltos that is sold globally, it has a 5-star safety rating, whereas in India, it's just a 3-star rating.
Subcompact SUVs are positioned better than hatchbacks and cost lesser than actual SUVs. To add to it, they are also cost efficient in the long run. Most of the subcompact SUV variants run entirely on diesel, making them preferable in India. People also like the raw appeal of an SUV because of its higher ground clearance and commanding position. With bad roads being so common in India, these subcompact SUVs are just the perfect fit for Indian roads. In short, subcompact SUVs are a good investment, making them the most sought-after cars in India. A Federal Report. Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more interesting updates.